Hey. Welcome back to Her Divine Journey podcast on the platform Words That Speak, hosted by your girl, Brandy, aka B. Jules. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in because you could be listening to anything else. And whether you're listening to it on the day it drops, or if you're hitting the replay, I so much appreciate you. Because without you, where would I be? Who would I be talking to? So, as you know, if you've been following me on social media, I am releasing a book. This book has been in the making for over 5 years. It first started in my brain for a while. Then I got it on paper. And then I got it on more paper. And then more paper. And I had like 2 or 3 rough drafts. And each time I was writing, I kept going back to the same concept story. And then finally, my last rough draft, I probably worked on it for about 3 years. And then I finally released it to my editors at Say That Channel. Check them out. Last year. So it's been a full year. I have been in editing mode of going back in time, reliving the memories, bringing them to life, building characters, timeline. It has been an amazing journey. There have been moments where certain parts have taken a lot more time to get through, but so much has happened. And I want to be able to bring you in to my world. And so between now and September, I want to do certain videos, posts to start showing you who I am and letting you come in. So I am opening up, and this month of May, we are going to do a podcast series called Pain for Purpose. So my book title is called Addicted to Pain. And so we are going to start. So you already know the routine. If you've got your juice, coffee, tea, water, whatever it is you need, let's get started. Oh, I love tea. All right. So this first episode is called The House Was Full, But I Had No Home. So growing up, I was a girl who looked like she had it all. I was the only child, and growing up, let me say that, we weren't rich, but we weren't poor. We were in that in between. And most of my kids in the neighborhood, or anyone I called my friend, right? Because when you're younger, everybody's your friend. You have no discernment with friend, that word. They all were either more in poverty than me, or like they had a more broken story than me. So no one seemed to be in a better place for most of my friends as I was growing up. And so when they seen me and my home, and I had both of my parents, I mean, it looked like I had it all, y'all. And my parents loved me deeply. They still do. And I never went without. Like, it was really hard for them to tell me no, which at the time was great for me. Like, as a child, I'm like, yes, I don't get told no. But as an adult, that was really hard for me to learn. But that's another episode. So toys, gadgets, full room, clothes, attention, trips, memories, beach, like you name it, it was going on. So on the outside, I was the girl others looked at and thought, she's lucky. But what they couldn't see, what wasn't there, was the chaos in the air, the tension in the silence, the way love could turn loud and fear roamed the house. When nighttime came, when sleep was deprived, when dysfunction was creeping into our minds and deeply rooted into our hearts, no one's seen that. The tears, the pain, they weren't seeing that. See, my parents didn't hate me. They adored me, as I mentioned, but they didn't know how to love each other without hurting each other. And I found myself torn between the two of them consistently. And though I was surrounded by things, I was starving for peace. Though the house was full, I never really felt like I had a home. Because what good are four walls if they echo with fear? So I share this with you because maybe you had a similar experience. Maybe people thought you had it all together while you cried yourself to sleep. Maybe you learned how to smile on the outside when you were silently breaking on the inside. Maybe like me, you were accustomed to appearing okay. Maybe like me, dysfunction became normal. And normal was weird. It didn't exist. Healthy didn't exist. Toxicity bred. It infiltrated. It spread. But sis, God sees through the performance. And his healing doesn't start on the outside. It starts in the unseen. So one of my favorite verses that I've come to since my relationship with Jesus is Psalms 34:18, which says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." See, at the time, as a child, my heart was broken. It was broken. And I didn't know God. I went to private school, so I heard about him, but he wasn't in my environment once I left school. Like, that's all God was. God was there. He was in a Bible. He was in a church. But that's it. He was not in my environment. And I remember being scared every day as a child, and like hiding scared. I mean, I used to bite my nails till they bled. I would dig into my gums with my nails to like try to calm myself down and try to like block out the atmosphere of what was happening. So I didn't realize until later, years later, the reason I longed for peace so much was because God had wired me to carry it. See, we were born with peace, love, confidence, creativity, and for joy. And he was forming a woman of healing in the middle of my storm. And what once felt like a broken beginning is now a part of a redeemed purpose. Yo, but God. Because this is one of the reasons I'm writing this book, Addicted to Pain. Because so many of us have pain that's never been given permission to speak. And some of us have grown up where we don't talk about our problems. Our parents didn't talk about their problems. No one talks about problems. We just brush it under the rug, or the way we communicate isn't helping anything. It's making it worse, or you don't communicate. So it's just left out there. Now you got grudges, and there's so much that goes on that we don't speak to, we don't talk about, we don't heal from. And we just carry it. And so I was deceived for so long in that I'm here to expose all that deception. And I'm here to speak out as a woman about what really happened to me. And I'm being honest and raw. And it's vulnerable. And it's not easy. And it was painful. But y'all, somebody's got to talk about it. And we've got to speak, because just as much as pain is real, so is hope. Hope is real. I am hope. Because that little girl, I did not know if she would make it through. I didn't. But I've had so many tomorrows. And now here I am speaking to an audience, writing a book, and God has redeemed my pain for purpose. It's real. And I know I'm not the only one. So if we don't allow God to heal it, we'll keep chasing peace in all the wrong places. But I want you to know, your pain is not the end of your story. It might just be the beginning of your calling. So you know me, I'm always going to come with some reflection questions and get you thinking, because though my journey is my journey and pain is pain, we all walk something differently. And so I always want you to listen, understand, but also reflect on your time and what you're going through. So this week, I want to challenge you. Journal about one part of your childhood that looked good but didn't feel safe. 2, ask God, what do you want me to see here? 3, invite him to show you how he protected you even in the dysfunction. I'm going to run those back. 1, journal about one part of your childhood that looked good but didn't feel safe. 2, ask God, what do you want me to see here? 3, invite him to show you how he protected you even in the dysfunction. See, there's purpose in your pain. There's beauty in your becoming. And there's healing waiting for your honesty, y'all. So when this book drops, y'all are going to get the real deal of what went on. Okay? I ain't holding back. I'm not holding back. But I can't divulge it all on a podcast. Just not able to do so. So you're going to have to wait for the book. And it's going to get good, y'all. It's really, really good. So, now that we just said some stuff, you know what time it is. Fun fact. Did you know an octopus mother sacrifices everything for her babies and literally stops eating to protect their young? It looks tragic, but it's actually one of the most intentional acts of devotion in the animal kingdom. So sometimes pain is proof of deep love, not weakness. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So if this episode hit home for you, share it with someone who might be silently carrying a childhood that never felt safe. Leave a review, tag me in your reflections, and don't forget, this is only the beginning of our Pain for Purpose series. Next week, we're diving deeper, y'all. So until then, stay rooted, stay real, and remember, you were born to bloom beyond your pain. Toodles!